The nature of the problem that the 12-step recovery system addresses is the problem of attachment. The 12-step recovery system was designed around alcoholism and drug addiction, where the object or the problem is obvious and clear. You're overly attached to alcohol and drugs. You keep drinking them and taking them, it's causing a lot of problems. Easily observed, easily, or at least simply, resolved. Not so easy when your problem is a vague sense of discontentment, or you're not happy at work, or you keep getting in bad relationships, or you gamble too much, or you can't eat healthily, or you want sex too much, or you're looking at pornography, or you're looking for solutions to spiritual problems in the material world. The 12-step recovery system is a means for addressing attachment, malevolent connection, illusion, all quite important spiritual ideas, but neatly designed and developed around clear objects. Now, it's not woo-woo or ethereal. You have to be specific. You have to identify. If you're going to undertake this course, if you're going to undertake this process, you have to initiate, say, I have a problem. I want to change the way I relate to my partner, or the way I relate to my work, or the way that I drink, or the way that I eat. But you do initially need to be specific. So whatever it is that's inside you or outside you, or a correlation of the two, this program provides a point of intersection, a point of address, an opportunity to separate yourself from it. It can be clerical, academic, clinical. It's not just, oh yeah, well, just try and live a better life. You know, it's like there is an administrative process. The 12-step process moves us from unconscious unawareness to conscious awareness. That's why it's necessary to initially address there is a problem, whether that problem is drinking, drug use, food, behavior, negative thinking, self-harm, self-loathing, whatever it is, we initially address there's a problem. Then we come to believe that it's possible for that problem to change, that we haven't arrived at the summit of our individual experience. Then we acknowledge that that change is unlikely to occur by the reiteration and repetition of methods that we've already deployed. Then the work in earnest begins through a system of analyses and diagnosis very particular to the 12 steps, which is actually rather scholarly but incredibly precise and useful at identifying patterns of behaviour that have defined our personality and perhaps, in fact, form the borders of what we consider ourselves to be. Having undertaken that inventory, you share it with another person in order to address the possibility that your perception is a huge part of the problem. Then together you identify what problems and patterns you've had. You become willing to let go of them. You engage in a spiritual process to let go of these problems and make a commitment to be different. Then you make a list of people that have been harmed as a result of the life you have lived, and you forgive anyone that you believe has harmed you. Then, where appropriate, you make amends to these people. Having done that, you have addressed the problem of your life up to now. It is a thorough process, and I can scarcely do it justice in a 1-minute précis, not even a lifetime's study. But this takes you to a point where you can say, okay, I've dealt with my initial dilemmas, the problem that I came in with. 10, 11, 12, the final 3 steps of the 12-step process are remain aware, increase conscious contact with God, and find and live a life of service. So, in a sense, the 12-step process is a transformation from individualized, egocentric perception to a more cosmic perception, a broader, altruistic, philanthropic, loving perspective. What is beautiful about it is it's a perennial system that, by different name, is found everywhere. In folk traditions, in pantheism, in Hinduism, in monotheism, the ideas of awakening from the illusion of the self and becoming a vessel of life, universally found, universally explored. Where the 12 steps are unique is they were designed in modern language relatively. They were applied to, if not a particularly modern problem, an identifiable problem, attachment to chemical dependency. And for me, this has given them a kind of clarity and relevance that are not necessarily found in the desert books, or the old scrolls. They're there, but they are contemporaneous and are often bagged up with ideas that don't belong in the modern age. I mean, obvious ideological quirks around sort of sexual behaviour and sex. There seems to be one really obvious area. So I think it's like a modern spiritual system that's non-exclusive, completely inclusive, applicable to all. You can't be too dumb for it. You can be too clever for it. It's a kind of beautiful system.